Your brain's financial risk assessment software was designed for trading berries, not navigating Amazon Prime auto renewals. Today we will exploit a massive glitch in human psychology called hyperbolic discounting. We'll audit how a simple $5 monthly subscription traps you in an infinite money drain loop until your wallet gets completely wiped. Hit that like button before your bank account soft locks, and subscribe to the channel. Protocol initialized. You've successfully spawned in your living room, the absolute peak of modern indoor survival. You are currently engaged in your favorite post-capitalist activity, staring at a screen while a slightly smaller screen rests in your hand. Suddenly, a push notification shatters your fragile peace. You just got slapped with a $14.99 stealth deduction from an entity called PDF-Converter-Pro-Plus. Your internal RAM struggles to render any memory of this software. After digging through the archives, your brain retrieves a corrupted file from a dark era known as 2023. You downloaded it once to merge a single rent document because your landlord still operates in the Stone Age. You clicked Start 3-day free trial, completely confident you would cancel it in time. Flawless logic. Except you immediately forgot about it because your object permanence is on par with a golden retriever. And now, 3 years later, PDF Converter Pro Plus has secretly milked you for over $500. You could have bought a PS5 with that money, but instead, you funded the CEO's second yacht. This isn't just bad luck. It is a calculated exploit of your brain's factory settings. Welcome to the subscription economy, where corporations treat your bank account like an all-you-can-eat buffet. They don't want your large sums up front because that triggers your financial self-defense mechanisms. Instead, they siphon your resources in tiny, invisible drops of $9.99 until you dry up entirely. You tell yourself you'll cancel it tomorrow, but tomorrow is a mythical land where things actually get done. Spoiler alert, tomorrow never comes, and the auto-renewal cycle remains unbroken. You are now soft-locked in a digital parasite relationship. The only way out is to manually sever the connection, which requires actual willpower. And as we'll see in the code audit, your willpower bar is currently running on fumes. Time to open the developer console and see why your brain's finance logic is fundamentally broken. The devs call this specific bug hyperbolic discounting. Basically, your inner caveman operates on a strictly short-term survival patch. A million years ago, if you didn't eat that mammoth meat right now, a saber-toothed tiger would eat it. Or you. So evolution hard-coded your hardware to heavily prioritize immediate rewards over future stability. Fast forward to modern-day capitalism, and this primal feature is now a massive exploit. When you see a price tag of $180 for a yearly subscription, your brain hits the panic button. It registers as a massive, immediate loss of resources. Your primal instincts scream at you to abort the mission. But when the exact same service costs $15 a month, the threat radar goes completely silent. $15 is just a burger and fries. It's barely a blip on the financial dashboard.
The problem is that $15 a month mathematically equals $180 a year, but your brain physically cannot render the future consequence because it hasn't happened yet. You are willingly bleeding out via 1,000 microscopic cuts just to avoid one single stab wound. Corporations know this. They exploit your short-term processing limit to mask the true cost of their garbage software. It is the ultimate pay-to-lose mechanic, and you keep falling for it because the UI looks slick. Add an auto-renewal feature to this mess, and you have a literal infinite money glitch for the vendor. It completely bypasses your conscious approval process, treating your debit card like a communal water fountain. And since the charges hit you while you sleep, your financial defense systems are completely offline. Eventually, your monthly active subscriptions list looks like the end credits of a Marvel movie.
You are secretly funding 5 different streaming platforms, an astrology app, and a premium smart toaster service. Your bank account is essentially a sieve, and you're out here trying to carry water through the desert. But today is different. Today, you are going to take back control of your financial hardware. You are going to manually open the settings menu and purge the system of all parasitic leeches. Prepare for the boss fight of the century. Entering the cancellation zone, you crack your knuckles and stare down your laptop, ready to cancel PDF-converter-pro-plus once and for all. The corporate user interface is a hostile labyrinth designed by psychologists who absolutely hate humanity. Finding the subscribe button takes 0.3 seconds. It is massive, shiny, and practically clicks itself. Finding the cancel button requires a treasure map, a blacklight, and a degree in ancient hieroglyphics. You finally click it, entering Phase 1 of the boss fight, the aggressive guilt trip. The UI asks if you are absolutely sure you want to leave, making the stay button massive and the leave button invisible. You click the tiny gray text, sacrificing 10% of your willpower bar to a basic optical illusion. Phase 2 begins immediately. The desperation discount. Your brain stutters. Half price? That basically means you are making free money, right? No, it is a trap. You aggressively decline the offer, triggering Phase 3. The system deploys its ultimate defense mechanism. To cancel, please call our retention department. Phone calls? In this economy? You would rather fake your own death and move to the woods. You dial the number and get immediately soft-locked in a hellish labyrinth of automated menus. The hold music is a compressed, bit-crushed saxophone loop designed specifically to cause psychic damage. Every 30 seconds, a robotic voice reminds you that your call is very important to them, which is a blatant lie. Eventually, a human NPC named Chad picks up. His entire job is to not let you leave. Chad deploys the pause subscription trap. Why cancel when you can just freeze it for 3 months? This exploits your optimism bias. You assume future you will remember to cancel it. Future you is an idiot. You scream, "Cancel it!" into the receiver. Chad sighs, hits a button, and says a confirmation email has been sent. The email arrives. It contains one final link you must click to completely sever the connection. You click it. The web page hits you with a 404 error. The server is conveniently down. Your willpower bar completely shatters. You do not have the energy to fight the corporate machine anymore. You close the laptop, accepting that PDF Converter Pro Plus is just a permanent tax on your existence now. This phenomenon is known as decision fatigue. They purposefully make the process so exhausting that compliance is the only survival strategy. And just like that, the glitch wins. You lost the boss fight to a piece of software you do not even use. But hey, at least you tried, right? That has to count for something in the grand scheme of the universe. It does not.
The universe does not care, and neither does your bank account. Now that your willpower is 0, you are perfectly primed for the next psychological exploit. Because getting scammed by a hidden fee is one thing. Willingly paying a ransom for your own memories is another. It is time to face the most devastating logic bug of all, the sunk cost fallacy. You managed to survive the PDF converter encounter, but now your eyes lock onto the little green music icon on your phone. You pay $11 a month for this thing. You only listen to music when you are doing dishes or pretending to work out. Mathematically, it makes 0 sense. You decide to cancel it and just listen to free, ad-supported radio like a peasant. But right as your finger hovers over the cancel button, a massive psychological glitch activates: the sunk cost fallacy. Basically, your brain refuses to abandon a bad investment because you have already poured resources into it. The music app hits you with the ultimate emotional hostage situation. What about your playlists? Your eyes widen. The Gym Motivation 2021 playlist. It took you 3 years to curate that exact sequence of aggressive electronic beats. If you cancel now, you lose the save file. You wipe the progress. You are back to level 1. Never mind the fact that you haven't been to the gym since 2022.
The algorithm knows you, man. The algorithm is the only entity in this universe that understands your transition from sad lo-fi to extreme heavy metal at 3 a.m. To abandon the app is to murder a digital clone of your own musical soul. This is a textbook trap. Corporations design these platforms to be sticky, gathering your personal data so you can never leave. You are literally paying $11 a month to rent access to a list of songs that already exist for free on YouTube. But the sunk cost fallacy overrides your logic board. The fear of losing the investment outweighs the benefit of saving money. So you hit the keep subscription button, securing your useless playlist for another 30 days. You justify it by telling yourself you will definitely go for a run tomorrow and use the playlist. Spoiler alert. You will not go for a run. You will lie on the couch and watch other people build houses out of mud on YouTube.
The subscription trap is just one layer of the financial wipe mechanic. Now we enter the physical realm. Your character needs fuel. Your fridge is currently rendering a singular expired lemon and a bottle of mystery sauce. It is time for the grocery run quest. But you are making a fatal tactical error before you even leave the base. You skipped breakfast. You skipped lunch. Your avatar's hunger bar is completely depleted. Going to the supermarket on an empty stomach is like walking into a casino while drunk. You have voluntarily activated the hunger overdrive debuff. In this state, your brain completely shuts down the logical prefrontal cortex and hands the steering wheel to a rabid raccoon. You are no longer a modern human seeking sensible sustenance. You are an apex predator hunting for quick dopamine. You grab a reusable grocery bag, falsely believing it will limit your hauling capacity. But the retail developers are waiting for you. They have spent billions optimizing the store layout to exploit this exact state. You are about to step into a meticulously crafted psychological minefield designed to empty your wallet. Armed with zero willpower and a raging metabolic deficit, you walk through the sliding automatic doors. May the financial gods have mercy on your bank account. The sliding doors close behind you, trapping you in a windowless simulation designed to warp your perception of time. You enter with a simple main quest: acquire bread, milk, and eggs. But with the hunger overdrive debuff active, your brain's risk assessment algorithm is completely compromised. You bypass the produce section entirely. Vegetables offer long-term health stats, and your inner caveman wants immediate dopamine. You take physical damage from the bakery's artificial scent pumps, strategically located at the entrance, to break your resolve. You wander directly into the snack aisle, a high-level danger zone filled with hyper-palatable loot. Your eyes lock onto a bag of extreme neon blast tortilla chips. Rational you would look at the $7 price tag and instantly decline the transaction. But starving you views these chips as a legendary healing potion necessary for immediate survival.
You toss 3 bags into your tiny, reusable eco bag, instantly maxing out its inventory space. To carry more loot, you acquire a shopping cart mount. The cart has one severely jammed wheel. This is not a maintenance issue. It is a hostile feature. It forces you to walk slower, forcefully increasing the render time for every single product you pass. Next, you hit the artisan cheese section, a total trap for players who falsely believe they have sophisticated taste. You don't even own a cheese knife, but your starved brain convinces you that $20 smoked Gouda is a lifestyle upgrade. At this exact moment, the thirst mechanic kicks in. You desperately need hydration to continue the raid. You walk right past the 80-cent bottled water and lock onto an aluminum can covered in neon claw marks. It costs $5 and promises quantum focus, which mathematically just means it contains enough caffeine to kill a small horse. You drop 2 of them into the cart because, clearly, you need to be heavily buffed for sitting on the couch later. Your original quest is completely abandoned. You are now just a mindless loot goblin hoarding random items. The store's labyrinth forces you through the seasonal aisle, completely destroying your avatar's concept of linear time. It is middle of July, but the shelves are fully stacked with Halloween candy and plastic skeletons. Panic sets in. If time is moving this fast, you better buy a giant bag of mini chocolate bars right now to survive the winter blackout. Your cart is now a chaotic pile of impulsive microtransactions masquerading as actual groceries. You haven't picked up a single item from your original list, and you have already spent 60 hypothetical dollars. This is exactly what the developers intended. The longer you stay in the instance, the more gold you drop. You feel a false sense of victory, falsely thinking you have successfully dominated the grocery run. But as you approach the end cap displays, the ultimate hardware exploit is waiting perfectly in ambush. The supermarket marketers are about to weaponize the oldest psychological bug hidden in the human source code. It is time to face the optical illusion that breaks mathematics itself. The .99 price tag.
You are now staring blankly at a towering end cap display locked onto a massive price tag that says $19.99. Welcome to the left digit effect. It is a fundamental hardware limitation in how human optical sensors process integers. Because you read from left to right, your brain renders the first digit and immediately stops rendering the rest to save RAM. A rational machine understands that $19.99 is physically 1 penny away from $20, but your monkey brain processes the big 1 and the big 9 and confidently shouts, "Dude, it's basically $10." The item in question is a massive, gallon-sized jug of extreme artisanal mayonnaise. You hate mayonnaise. You have never eaten mayonnaise in your entire 32-year playthrough. But it is on sale for $19.99, and passing up a deal that mathematically feels like a steal causes actual physical pain.
You heave the massive jug into your cart, actively making your avatar slower and your financial wipe inevitable. The devs didn't just stop at price tags. They also weaponized the store's physical geometry. You turn a corner and are completely soft-locked by a massive wooden pallet of discount toilet paper. This is a pallet trap. It physically obstructs your path, forcing you to acknowledge the loot, whether you want to or not. In the digital world, you use an ad blocker. In the physical world, your ad blocker is useless against 3 tons of 2-ply. The sheer mass of the pallet triggers a primal scarcity mindset. If there is this much of it, there must be a crisis. You grab a 40-pack, entirely forgetting that your tiny apartment bathroom is the size of a shoebox. You will be using this toilet paper as a bedside table for the next 2 years. Just as you recover from the paper trap, a rogue red visual asset catches your attention. The red clearance sticker.
The most dangerous, aggressive mob in the entire retail instance. Biologically, red signals danger or ripe fruit. Retailers exploit this to flag useless garbage as urgent loot. It does not matter what the item actually is. The red tag overrides your conscious thought process with raw dopamine. You just bought a novelty hot dog toaster for $24.99 because the original price was scratched out. It is a classic anchoring exploit. They show you a fake high number, so the slightly lower, real number feels like a victory. You feel like a genius hacker who just gamed the system, when in reality, you just paid $25 for literal e-waste. You toss it into your cart, which is now groaning under the sheer weight of your impulsive cognitive failures. You have successfully fallen for hyperbolic discounting, the left digit effect, the scarcity illusion, and price anchoring, all in one run. Your avatar's speed is heavily reduced. The cart feels like you are pushing a broken tank through mud. You finally see the checkout zone in the distance, the extraction point, safety. But the developers have one final boss stationed right before the exit to ensure maximum wallet drain. It is an enemy class that exploits your social programming and inherent sense of human guilt. Brace yourself. You are about to encounter the free sample Trojan horse.
You are inches away from the checkout when a cheerful elderly NPC physically blocks your path. She offers you a single microscopic cube of cheese on a neon plastic toothpick. This is not a random act of kindness. This is a highly calculated psychological malware injection. It targets a primal bug in your social programming known as the reciprocity instinct. In a tribal society, if someone shares their mammoth meat, you owe them your life. Fast forward to modern capitalism, and this instinct translates to severe social anxiety over a piece of dairy. You take the toothpick, foolishly believing you can just eat the loot and walk away cleanly. But the exact moment the cheese touches your tongue, the psychological trap completely snaps shut. The elderly NPC locks eyes with you. She smiles. A terrifying, silent, expectant smile. The silence stretches on. The air becomes physically heavy with agonizing social awkwardness. Your social defense firewall begins to aggressively melt down under the pressure of eye contact. She gently explains that this artisanal smoked cheddar is currently on special for $14. You don't even like cheddar. In fact, you are mildly lactose intolerant and it will ruin your evening. But your glitchy brain screams that if you don't buy the cheese, you are fundamentally a terrible human being. The guilt bar hits 100%, instantly overriding all logical financial protocols. You are literally being held hostage by a 70-year-old woman and a tiny piece of wood. To escape the agonizing social friction, you instinctively grab a massive brick of the cheese. You just paid $14 to successfully abort a 5-second human interaction. The NPC nods approvingly, her mission accomplished. The social tension completely vanishes. You toss the cheese brick into your overflowing cart, feeling a completely fake sense of relief. Congratulations, you just successfully bought your way out of a standard NPC dialogue tree. Retail developers know that human players will do literally anything to avoid looking cheap in public. It is the ultimate pay-to-win mechanic, except the only thing you win is accelerated financial ruin. You finally reach the checkout belt, dragging your broken cart of shame toward the register. You begin unloading the random loot: giant mayonnaise, energy drinks, and useless seasonal decor. The scanner aggressively beeps with every item, sounding exactly like a hospital heart monitor flatlining. You stare at the total screen as the numbers rapidly climb past your mental budget boundary. $140. You literally came here for a loaf of bread and some milk. You didn't even get the bread. Or the milk. Your primary quest was completely abandoned. You swipe your debit card, completely defeated, ready to crawl back to your spawn point. You finally drag your over-encumbered avatar back to the safe zone, surviving the retail instance. The hypnotic spell of the supermarket instantly breaks. The hunger overdrive debuff completely expires. You are immediately struck by a devastating status effect known as post-purchase clarity. You survey the loot: a gallon of extreme mayonnaise, glowing neon chips, and the legendary hot dog toaster. The hacker illusion completely vanishes. You did not game the system. You just bought e-waste. You spent $140, and you still have absolutely nothing for dinner. Mathematically, you could have ordered a premium pizza delivery for an entire week with that gold. You decide to eat a handful of extreme neon blast chips for dinner and swallow your shame. But the universe is not done auditing your hardware. Your phone vibrates with a new incoming transmission. It is an email notification. Subject line: Welcome to the Meowbox Premium family. Your internal RAM struggles. You didn't buy anything online. You were physically trapped in the supermarket. Then, a suppressed memory file finally renders. The checkout lane, the cashier,
the free reusable tote bag. To get the free bag, you agreed to a 30-day complimentary trial of a pet food delivery service. You mash the green Accept button on the terminal because reading terms of service is for NPCs. You are now completely soft-locked into a $45 monthly delivery of artisan salmon pate. There is a massive, fundamental logic error in this entire transaction. You do not own a cat. You have never owned a cat. You are mildly allergic to cats. But the sunk cost fallacy instantly attempts to reboot your brain with a terrible idea. Since you are already paying for the premium food, maybe you should just adopt a cat? Absolutely not. You can barely keep a single houseplant alive, let alone a biological apex predator. You decide to cancel the Meow Box subscription immediately.
You are not losing this boss fight. You open the email, find the tiny gray cancellation link, and click it with pure vengeance. The website loads. It requires you to log in, but you never created a password in the store. You hit Forgot Password. The system says a recovery link has been sent to your backup email. The backup email is an old Yahoo account you haven't accessed since middle school. You try to guess the password. Was it Ninja Slayer 99? Or maybe Skateboard King 2004? The system locks you out for 24 hours due to suspicious activity. You cannot cancel a subscription if you cannot log in. It is an impenetrable digital fortress. The dark pattern design is flawless. They weaponized your own terrible cybersecurity habits against you. Now, Meowbox is a permanent fixture in your financial dashboard, alongside PDF Converter Pro Plus. You are officially funding a phantom cat. You are the sole provider for a digital entity that does not exist.
To make matters worse, you remember the shipping details. It is a next-day delivery service. A heavy knock on the door echoes through your apartment. The loot has arrived. You open it to find a massive, premium cardboard box covered in happy paw prints. You drag it inside, adding it to your hoard of extreme mayonnaise and toilet paper. Your base is now fully corrupted. The financial wipe is absolutely imminent.
The next morning arrives, and your avatar's hunger bar is flashing a lethal, strobing red. You stare at the premium salmon pate cat food, but your remaining shreds of dignity prevent you from eating it. You need basic carbohydrates. You grab your debit card for a highly focused, tactical run to the corner store. No shopping carts, no aisles, no distractions. Just a straight speed run for a basic loaf of sandwich bread. You arrive at the register. The price is $2.99. A perfectly manageable microtransaction. You confidently tap your plastic card against the glowing terminal, fully expecting the satisfying beep of approval. Instead, the terminal emits a harsh, terrifying buzz that sounds like a dying robot. The screen displays the most devastating 2 words in the English language. Card declined. Time completely freezes. The cashier stares at you. The person in line behind you heavily sighs.
You desperately try the chip is dirty excuse, frantically wiping the card on your shirt like it will magically spawn funds. You tap it again. The terminal buzzes louder this time, basically mocking your poverty in front of everyone. You pull out your phone and desperately open the banking app to check your actual stats. The dashboard loads. Your checking account isn't just empty, it has crossed the event horizon into negative numbers. The hyper-palatable snacks, the phantom cat food, and the stealth subscriptions all stacked perfectly to hit you with a critical strike. But the bank isn't done. They see you have no money, so they charge you a $35 fee as punishment for having no money. This is the ultimate poverty tax, a flawless piece of corporate logic that defies all laws of physics. You slowly leave the bread on the counter and do the walk of shame out of the store, completely defeated. Your avatar has been completely stripped of all financial armor.
You are soft-locked in the broke state. You return to your apartment, which is now just a storage unit for terrible financial decisions. The hot dog toaster remains in its box. The phantom cat food towers in the corner. The subscriptions silently tick away on the calendar. Your brain's primitive software completely failed to navigate the complex subscription economy. The hyperbolic discounting glitch worked exactly as the developers intended, siphoning your resources drop by drop. You thought you were the main character, but in this financial simulation, you are just an easily farmable NPC. The screen fades to black. The system recognizes the total depletion of assets. You have achieved the ultimate fail state.
Financial wipe. Maybe next time you'll actually read the terms of service. Or maybe you'll just buy another novelty toaster. Probably the toaster, let's be real. Your monkey brain never learns. If you survive this code audit, hit the like button before your own card declines. Subscribe to patch your cognitive glitches. Protocol terminated.